and welcome to another episode of BlackStar Live. I'm your host, Maori.
And I'm Rashid. BlackStar Live, for those who don't know, is a program of BlackStar Projects, an organization that celebrates and provides platforms for visionary Black, Brown, and Indigenous artists.
For those of you who tuned in last week and are wondering where Luke Carlos O'Reilly is, he's offset in isolation because he engaged in Super Bowl Sunday activities.
No, I was safe. I am clearly Rona-free.
I like what Luke thinks is safe. It's like having people in his house having parties.
And then just the COVID Veronas.
Their mask is around the alcohol. You know?
Just down right here.
Sure. We know, Luke. So Rashid, your people have a holiday coming up.
My people?
Yeah, coupled people.
You mean people of couple, if you will.
The National Association for the Advancement of Coupled People is actually
There you go.
Did you plan anything for Valentine's Day? Is that something you and Shanti do?
Well, since Valentine's Day is also during Black History Month, and I'm really sketchy about the white man's holiday anyway, Shanti and I, we have a tradition of civil rights play. I have a Josephine Baker costume. She has a Marcus Garvey costume. I ride her boat to freedom, etc. You doing anything fun this weekend?
Actually, yes, I am. I'm not letting the single life stop me from indulging in romantic gestures. I've booked a 2-hour myofascial hydrating massage.
I don't know what that
and
is.
I'm having a decadent bouquet of peonies arranged according to an interpretation of my quarterly astrological/tarot reading. It'll be ready by Monday.
For real, that sounds more like a President's Day present. You know what I mean? Which makes sense because you're presidential and that's some presidential stuff.
I'll take that. What is President's Day anyway? I mean, who is it for? And why are we still celebrating this? It's kind of like all of the holidays during the pandemic. I mean, what is time off? Who cares about presidents?
Yo, you know what would be amazing? An impeachment holiday. A moment where we as a country celebrate the end of a toxic relationship by posting subliminals to social media and leaving messages on Reddit.
What we really should have is a House of Representatives Day. We can honor folks like AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Stacey Plaskett.
Yo, who rocked the cape to the impeachment trial? Yo, talk about a superhero move from the Virgin Islands.
Maxine Waters.
Auntie Maxine. Yo, she's the type of auntie that would let you know if your celebrations for her holiday are subpar. Like, can't you see her taking to Twitter, letting us know that we could have kept a little raggedy ass pomp and circumstances to ourselves?
She would be taking back all her time, okay? The thought of being in trouble with Auntie Maxine is making me itch.
Yo, Vice President Kamala for that matter too.
But for different reasons.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure I trust her. What's her sign?
She is a Libra, right on the edge of Scorpio, I want to say October 20th.
I was married to a Scorpio for 9 years. Well, that kind of explains it. I wonder which astrological system she adheres to, Black or Vedic?
Kamala, is you Black for us, girl?
I just connected with her actually on CoStar.
That tracks. So smooth segue. Raise your hand if you found out about the Indian farmer solidarity protests from Rihanna's IG page this week.
I mean, for real, social media, that's where I'm getting all my news these days. Like, for example, did you see Jim Carrey's painting honoring Stacey Abrams? He tweeted, "Today, I'm giving a shout out to a born leader and political superstar, Stacey Abrams, who rescued Georgia from the Red Hats. Their resistance makes all the loving hearts stronger and more resolved. Thank you, Stacey, for the content of your character. Dr. King would be so proud of you."
Oh, Canadian Jim Carrey, I'm so sorry. Thank you for imparting praise of Stacey Abrams on behalf of Martin Luther King Jr. How very American of you.
I'm saying though, his paintings, they look like those 1990s Ghanaian movie posters. You seen those, right?
No.
Here we go. For example, this one right here, my man is looking like Filipino Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, it's also kind of giving me like Kurosawa vibes.
What's up with this Mission Impossible with Jackie Chan?
It kind of makes me think about Fast and Furious if they were on motorcycles a little bit.
The slow and angry.
Jim Carrey's career peaked in the 1990s, so it makes sense that maybe he started moonlighting as a Ghanaian poster painter after letting In Living Color get to his head.
What's up with this? Yo.
I don't think there were any guns in Ghost Dog.
Moreover, look at the bottom left. He's fighting like the Ku Klux K9.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, why does Michael Jordan have a gun?
Why does it look like the mafia got him at the knees? Oh my goodness. Wow, more guns. Whoopi Goldberg with a gun. Nuns and rosaries. Did they even see the movie?
Yo, I don't think so.
These are all better than Jim Carrey's portrait, though.
But you know what? Enough talking about white people for BlackStar Live. No, I'm kidding. Let's talk about the whites-only Golden Globes.
Well, as I've said before, I'm watching it, but only for my girls, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Fair.
Here at BlackStar, we aren't beholden to outdated standards that cater to the white gaze or award work that perpetuates harmful narratives about people of the diasporas. In that same vein, we don't expect any of these historically white institutions that fuel a predominantly white industry to see the value in our work, nor do we have a desire for their accolades. We just want their budgets.
The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on BlackStar Live are not only those of the host, but of this whole damn enterprise.
Really, we should be careful. You know what happens when we start complaining.
Listen, yo, they're gonna slap the hashtag in racism on the Golden Globe statue and send the winners home with awards and Crown Royale bags. That said, we're still rooting for everybody Black, brown, and indigenous.
Bye, BlackStar.
Hey.
We want to thank our presenting sponsor, the Open Society Foundation. And tonight, we are so excited to be joined by DJ and filmmaker Questlove, recording artist Madison McFerrin, and filmmaker Adeyemi Michael, who's agreed to share his latest work entitled with us.
We also have a new episode of Yaba Learns and a bunch of other funny stuff in between, so don't go nowhere.
And now, your first look at The Bachelor, Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, Dr. Umar, what are you looking for this season in a woman?
You got to be nappy, baby. You got to be nappy. If I can't grab it, I can't have it.
Donations, gifts.
Dr. Umar, why should women want you?
I've never been married. I've never lived with a woman. I've never been married. I've never lived with a woman. I've never been married. I've never lived with a woman.
Yeah, okay. That's not necessary. Oh. You enjoy dancing? Great. Let's move on. Now, Dr. Umar, what are you most looking forward to on this journey?
I can't wait to take pictures and get hugs from all my Detroit sister supporters on Thursday. I can't wait to take pictures and get hugs from all my beautiful, intelligent, strong, nation-building Black Michigan queens.
They'll be from all over.
Black women come in every shape, size, and color. Every flavor, we got that. It's no need to go outside. You want vanilla? We got vanilla. You want lemon? We got lemon. You want butter almond? We got butter almond. You want butter pecan? We got butter pecan. You want caramel? We got caramel. You want a latte? We got latte. Sweet brown sugar? We got sweet brown sugar. You like fudge? We got fudge. You like deep chocolate? We got deep chocolate. You want mahogany black? We got mahogany black. Every flavor under the rainbow.
I really don't want to ask this next question, but what are you least looking forward to on this season of The Bachelor?
With all this fake hair, like y'all so beautiful, are you addicted to the weave? Are you addicted to the perm?
Is there anything else you want to say to the ladies?
If you're a single, beautiful, nappy-headed, intelligent, voluptuous Black woman, send your resume to drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. If you are a single,
beautiful, nappy-headed, voluptuous black woman, send your resume to Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com.
And there you have it. Beautiful, intelligent black queens.
Need all the hundreds and fifties, let's spread it. I'm with the shit, so let's get it. Killing it, leaving nobody, no medics. Rockstar like I'm Lenny Kravitz.
I don't know what that was. Anyway, tune in or set your DVRs for The Bachelor with Dr. Umar Johnson. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on ABC.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Yaba Learns. My name is Dr. Yaba Blay, and today I'm going to be learning how to make one of the most contested food items in the African diaspora, jollof rice. Please welcome our dear friend, Wale. Hi, Wale.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's fantastic to be here. I'm Wale Ejide. I'm a storyteller, designer, filmmaker, and a proponent of eating jollof rice as often as one can and should.
So tell me, because, you know, within our communities, we banter back and forth. Oh, you know, we have our own jollof wars over who did it best. We're not going to do that today because we're here in the name of unity. However, tell me if you can think of, how would you distinguish between Nigerian jollof and, say, Ghanaian jollof?
But for us, generally Nigerians, we tend to like it hot. I'm not sure if Ghanaians push the needle quite as much as we do.
Yeah, I think we do. I think you can, it depends on who's making it. So let's go ahead and get started, Wale. Where do I start?
So step one is get your rice together.
We've done that. The rice is cleaned. I rinsed it twice.
Next, we're gonna put together the puree.
Okay.
Sure, we're gonna need in there some tomatoes, peppers, onions. You might throw in some scotch bonnet in there if you're feeling like you want to really go where we come from.
Okay.
And toss all of those in a blender. Just do the ginger in that step too as well, please.
We are going to puree. And that's why they call it a Vitamix. All right, Wale, so you're gonna walk me through. First, I'm taking my puree and I'm putting it in the skillet. Well, in the pot, yes, in the pot. We're gonna add some seasoning. I'm gonna take some chicken bouillon, yes?
Yes, please.
Okay. Bam. You have white pepper here. We have curry. And then thyme. And that's it for the seasoning. We're gonna hold off on the bay leaf. Does the bay leaf come now or
You can toss the bay leaves. They can go in now.
Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna stir and cook for a little bit.
Stir and cook and leave that sitting waiting at medium heat, please.
All right. So now we're gonna do part two. I know it involves onions. We got onions. What I'm doing with them?
Toss them in the oil.
Ooh, I didn't put the oil in. Hold on. We're gonna put some oil in our skillet. That's a lot of oil. Throw the onions in.
Yes. We're gonna give those a few minutes, not long, 1 or 2, just to get them nice and soaked in. And then we're going to add tomato paste.
All right.
And stir that.
Got you.
And so usually you do that about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so now it's time for us to add the tomato paste situation to the puree. Okay. The tomato paste, oil, and onions. And then, whoa, let me turn you down. We have some chicken stock here. Okay, so I think our puree is good.
Good. So we want to let that rock about 20 minutes.
All right, Wale, so it's been a good 20 minutes. Our puree magic is tasting like something. I think it's time to add the rice.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's mix that all together.
I'm gonna put this in a preheated oven on 200, yeah?
Yes, you will. Let's go.
All right, it's in there. How long is it gonna bake for?
30 minutes.
And here we have Nigerian jollof rice. I wish you could be here to taste it, but I'm gonna taste it.
What's the verdict? How do we feel?
Now this not no street rice. It's alright. Join us next time for another episode of Yaba Learns.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Minute in Black Cinema. Yes, we are doing this again. My name is Desmond Thorne, and I am here today to talk about a little indie darling called Miss Juneteenth, starring the fabulous Nicole Beharie and Kendrick Sampson. Speaking of Kendrick Sampson, oh my God, this man's bone structure. Like, are you kidding me? I want to take some cheese and slice it off of his cheekbones, then get some charcuterie, because you got to have both, and then slice that off of his jaw, and then use the gleaming glow of his bright eyes as candlelight, and then pair all of that with his sweat as a little beverage. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yo, what is wrong with Desmond?
Desmond's insane.
I want to give a quick shout out to Wale Oyejire for teaching Yaba how to make jollof. We're not trying to get involved in the Ghanaian versus Nigerian jollof wars.
That smoke.
But shout out to the scarf, Ikire Jones.
The Black Panther exclusive, if you will.
Our first guest of the evening is world famous drummer, producer, and DJ, New York Times bestselling author, and now director of the award-winning documentary Summer of Soul. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, man?
Appreciate it.
Indeed,
I'm playing
indeed.
with you. My audio's fine. How you doing?
You saw me trying to do the secret hand signals too, like.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
don't be messing with us in Mercury and retrograde.
I know. I'm only playing. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. Happy to have you here. And yo, congratulations too on the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award at Sundance.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm probably the person that's given the worst acceptance speech of all time. No, like I'm very leery about how territorial people are about their domain. I'm sorry, jazz cats say their domain. So it's just like, I know, actors hate when rappers come in their territory. Musicians hate when non-musicians and non-singers come in their territory. And when they FaceTimed me, I was told I was getting a FaceTime. I wasn't told what it was for. I thought they were responding to me. I had hit them up earlier about, I have some friends that haven't seen the movie yet, so could we do like a reshow? Like, could I do that? I thought that's why they were calling me. Meanwhile, like, I'm struggling in the snow. It was like 13 inches of snow on the ground. I had zero clue that Sundance was I hate saying contest-based, like competition-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a hell of a way to find out that I won. I didn't even know that I was in the running for anything competition. Yeah. I'm
really
sorry to all the
incredible.
royal family out there. Thank you.
No, it's really incredible. And I know that you've been a student for film for a really long time. And I'll never forget, I don't know if you remember this, back in like 2003, you told me I was going to be the Michelle Gondry of, hip hop. And I really appreciated that. Getting, it was like AOL instant message chat, like 3 a.m. So.
Why you gotta reveal my age like that? I know know nothing about AOL Instant. I came in the Gmail generation. Thank you.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
It was a DM. It was a tweet in the
You
DM.
can email me at yahoo.com. Congratulations on getting picked up by Hulu as well. How are you feeling about all of this? Not only the surprise win, but having your first feature out in the world.
I'm really honored because, just for so long, I kind of thought I was going to be in the zone where, anything that I do, I put quality time and effort into any product I make, but I just sort of thought that maybe I'm going to build up a canon that will be observed like long after I'm gone. So I thought this was just going to be like one of the many, I've written 5 books and made 17 records and all those things. So I just thought that, this thing will get discovered like 15 years down the line or something. So I'm just happy because, out of anything, I love storytelling. And so, and also this enables me and Tariq's and Sean G's production company, 215 Films. It enables us to for people to take us serious that we want to tell stories.
Sort of like what Mayori was saying, you've been involved in filmmaking for years. You've been a composer, you've been an executive producer, you've acted, like you did the voice acting in Pixar Soul. I remember that episode of American Dad. And I'm a little curious of like, when did you know you wanted to direct Summer of Soul?
They kind of told me, actually the way that, no, I'm dead serious. I thought that my producers, David Dinnerstein and Robert Foyland, were trying to like stunt on me because like I know, like I'm one of those serious collectors that I'll fly to this this ancient place to get this like unheard of Prince concert for, like I'm that guy, I'm that sucker that might, oh wait, how many figures? Okay, 5 figures for this 6-minute concert. Like I'm that person. So I thought that these guys were just trying to stunt on me about this mythical Stevie Wonder Sly Stone concert in 1969 that the world's never seen or heard of. I know I haven't. So I was actually trying to get rid of them because I was just like, okay, you guys just want free Tonight Show tickets. So, all right, I'll see you later. And they're like, no, we want to show you what we got. And, I was like, well, come back next week. I thought I'd just fleece them or whatever. But then they came back with the footage. And my jaw dropped to the floor. And, out of every question I had, the prime one was, like, I'm music snob number 1. How come I don't know about this? So then that, initially I was trying to get out of it. Like, you should have a real storyteller tell the story. I might drop the ball, but I think 3 months into it, I realized that I got to step up to the plate and stop being such a, my comfort zone is sometimes like imposter syndrome. And, it took me 3 months to really accept the fact that I have to tell the story. And so I stepped up to the plate.
We're so glad that you did. You've had filmmakers on your podcast, Questlove Supreme, and you sit in on so many chats with directors and actors as musical director on The Tonight Show. Is there any piece of advice that has stuck with you and influenced your approach to this film?
I called a few people. Probably, I think at the end of the day, I think Ernest Dickerson told me, like, just, tell a compelling story. And that's, at the end of the day, you have to tell a compelling story. And, like, no matter how much substance you have as far as the ingredients, these wonderful performances, you still have to find a story in it. So in the very beginning, I was just going to do sort of like Amazing Grace. The Amazing Grace documentary was just straight up performances and nothing like that. I can easily curate a performance. It's like doing a DJ gig, but, I have to consider people that aren't knee deep in sort of inside baseball when it comes to music knowledge and that sort of thing. So, not to mention making this at the time when like Black Lives Matter, like the very things that was happening 50 years ago is happening right now.
Right.
for me, we just felt like it would behoove us to really explore and show and do it in a way where it's not like condescending or spelling it out. Like I didn't want it to be like the updated version of Eyes on the Prize. So, you know, I mean, because you know, for a lot of us, we have fatigue for that, you know, for that thing like where you already know what's going to happen, that sort of thing. So, trying to figure out a new formula was challenging, but I'll say that one of the gifts of quarantining and the time that we had off in 2020 was that it gave me the silence and the space to really concentrate and put our best foot forward.
Word. For folks who haven't seen the film, Summer of Soul, it tells the story of a major Black cultural event, which is the Harlem Cultural Festival. It was attended by hundreds of thousands of folks in 1969. But like you said before, Quest, that's largely been forgotten. I'm curious, you talked before, you got 17 albums, you have 5 books. How do you go about making sure the story of the roots, and specifically the story of Questlove, is preserved and it's properly told in 50 or 60 years?
You know, that's the one question I was asking myself. Because now I see how easy it is to forget, because now we live in an age where information is so, it's just everywhere. I mean, you know, case in point, I taught at NYU. I taught at Tisch for 5 years. And one of those years was, you know, teaching something as easy and ubiquitous as like Michael Jackson's Thriller. And half my class, you know, 23 students, maybe only 11 were familiar with that record. And even to them, it was sort of like, oh yeah, my grandparents had that record. Like words you just never thought you hear before, like, oh, Thriller, that's my grandparents' music, like that sort of thing. So I learned then that you really can't take that for granted. I think the fortunate thing for me and Tariq is that we're in a really rare position right now where our story is like constantly linear and keeps moving forward. Like we're not in that loop yet. You know, besides celebrating like the anniversary of our records, like we're still moving forward. The thing is that, you know, unfortunately, the week that we were quarantining, Tariq was literally set to blow. Like, if you thought this was something, like Tariq's Black No More project to me was, you know, to me it was like the anti-Hamilton. Like it had that much impact, but for the opposite reasons. And it was just brilliant, damn near MacArthur Genius worthy work. And, you know, that's what I'm anxious for the world to really see, like Tariq as a storyteller, like who I knew, but even in the audience, I kept asking Sean G, like my manager, like, all right, who really wrote this shit? Like the 9th time, I'm like, all right, did he really write this shit? And the whole audience is like, yes, you know, so it, yeah, no, the story's being written. So at the end of the day, you know, I'll figure that out. But while it's being written, I'm not thinking about past tense, like how do we preserve it? Because we're still writing it.
Word.
Yeah.
That's exciting too.
Yeah, I've heard some of those songs, and I'm also excited about Black No More. But before we let you go, Ahmir, I know that you recently celebrated a big birthday, and I hear that you were gifted with a video montage of blessings and well wishes, and that in the mix was a rare clip from a riveting duo named Ashy and Simpson.
Oh yeah.
Shall we take a look?
Indeed.
Coming soon to DVD and Blu-ray is the Questlove 50. 50 of the most obscure hits from bands like
Happy birthday, you just turned 50, nigga, 50, nigga. Happy birthday, you just turned 50, nigga, 50.
Or
We say fantastic. Happy birthday, Questo. You just turned the big 50, and we wish you 50 more. It's fantastic.
And how could we forget?
Happy birthday, Quest. Happy birthday, Quest. Happy birthday, Quest. Happy birthday, Quest.
Call now for your own copy of the Questo 50 coming to DVD and Blu-ray, and also iTunes Pink for some reason.
Wow.
Oh, you guys did your homework for that. No, I thank you guys for doing that. You know, it's hard to surprise me, so I totally knew that none of that was coming.
Shout out to Tina Ferris.
Indeed.
Yes,
We know
shout out to the great Tina Ferris.
feels good to get all that love.
It really
Yes,
does.
it did. Absolutely.
Well, thank
It
you
did.
so much.
I'm proud of you guys. I love this. This is great.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
I
you,
really
man.
appreciate that.
Yeah, man. And congratulations on all the things.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you for making
Thank you.
time for us tonight.
Indeed.
The unique thing that I hope that we're bringing to the space is that we are talking to people who are exceptional artists and thinkers, but who are also really trying to, I think, sort of spread light in some way, either through social justice or joy or resistance in many acts.
I'm so glad we got to talk to Ahmir about his film. And like, he's one of my favorite cultural figures in like every respect.
Yeah, me too. One of the things that I loved about Summer of Soul was seeing all those beautiful Black people dressed up and showing off. It reminds me of this little thing called BlackStar Film Festival when we used to be able to go outside.
I'm not familiar. Speaking of being effortlessly fly, I feel like people need to really appreciate your full fit today. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Show them.
Can they see these shoes? I don't think so.
Exactly. Outfits may always have.
I would get up, but the battery pack would fall, so. Rashid, you stay gassing me up. I feel like you should be my agent.
But aren't all agents just really good hype people and liars?
Shout out to Lauren Jane Holland. You're not a liar. You're just a really good agent, and we love you. They're also single-handedly responsible for the ways that the Brits have dominated Hollywood. Roll it.
Staff of Fire? Oh, that's better than Eye of Newt. Rope of Entanglement. I wonder if Will and Jada have anything to do with that. Marsha. You know, I'm still not talking to you.
Yeah, sure.
Star Wars hurt my feelings. Well, I don't like America anymore.
Bye, Marsha.
Wait. John, sorry, seriously.
I'm going to make it all up to you.
I have something huge. We're talking about a shiny statuette.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Well, all you need to know for now.
Biopic. Community leader. Eventually national. But you don't get to the White House the easy way. The writers want a clear-eyed and honest, but respectful portrayal.
Really?
Really.
One of their political weapons is cancel culture, driving people from their jobs, shaming dissenters, and demanding total submission from anyone who disagrees. This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
Right. Mayonnaise and raisins. How daft. Oh, yeah, Laura?
David, remember how we were saying last summer
We could count on there being buttloads of major
hero projects for Black actors come 2021-22 because of white guilt?
I recall you saying something of the sort. I also recall reminding you I already did Selma and couldn't imagine Americans letting me do another legend.
Well, you can imagine a little harder then.
Fox Searchlight is fast-tracking an old option on A Journey to the White House. They asked for you, specifically.
Well, I'm flattered, but I'm not, going to lionize the man. I won't just play him like some fanboy. I shall have notes.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about that.
They want you to play him as a complicated guy, misunderstood and imperfect, but ultimately human and capable of greatness.
They really want both sides. All sides, really.
First king and now this. The Americans are going to have a field day when they hear about this.
It's mostly about his time in Atlanta and his upstart business acumen.
I thought he was mostly based in Chicago and had stayed in politics most of his life.
Yeah. Listen, don't worry about all that.
We can cross that bridge when we get there.
Herman Cain, Road to the White House, Scene 1, Take 7.
Nine, nine, nine. If it worked for my pizza, it'll work for the country.
Cut.
Yeah, Dave. No, man, I'm watching this now. You know, it's not that bad. You know, it could be much worse. You know, it's not like you Kylie Jennered anyone or something, you know? Of course, would I lie to you? I'm Idris Elba, of course. Yeah. That's awful, man. Yeah, come on, man. You know, it could be worse, you know. You remember that movie I was in, that Tyler Perry film, you know? And I had to put a statement out, right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was not as bad as that. Oh, so, Dave, hold on one second, yeah? Hey, Dave, this is my American agent. Hold on one second, yeah? Hey, Marsha.
I have something big for...
Yeah, great, I'm in. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Dave, you know...
And the people taking the popsicle, they put it in their mouth and the thing goes inside of the thing. But the man doesn't have the people, because the jazz music isn't the same music as the kids with the hippin' and the hoppin' and the Tupac and the Biggie and the, you know, I can't do this. I can't do this. Charlie, I gotta get out here. I gotta get out here. No, it's not you. It's a part. Let me just give it. Hey, David. Hey, David, DG. Yeah, man. Yeah, can we come? I'm gonna play some classic tunes for you. Yeah, if that's all right. Yeah, Turn Up Charlie. That was the show I was on. Yeah, same thing.
Hey, Cuba. How's it going?
I'm okay, Marsha. Could be better, you know?
I know, babe. Don't think I'm not trying to make something happen for you. But remember the plan. We demoralize all these black Brits first, and then you get your big day.
Just keep your eye on the prize.
I'm gonna rush and say everybody, and
I know.
Got away. I won't be mad at you.
I know.
Tom said, don't forget to thank your wife. I will never forget to thank my high school sweetheart and the mother of my children, Spencer and Mason. I love you, Sarah. And
Our next guest is Madison McFerrin. Madison is an independent singer-songwriter based in Brooklyn. She recently announced her stream, which will be available February 18th on Bandcamp. Welcome to BlackStar, Madison.
Hello.
Hooty hooty hoo. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
That's me playing in the background or not, but you know, close.
Shout out to Luke Carlos O'Reilly.
Indeed.
You have an incredible voice, and we've been so excited to talk with you. A lot of people know that you come from a musical family, and we're really curious what or whom has really shaped your sound.
Well, you know, it's really easy to have like the picks from, you know, my dad and my brother, my grandfather and my grandmother. People like Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, the Beatles, they were played in my house a lot. James Brown, some more recent folks like Hiatus Coyote, they're big inspirations. Your previous guest, Ahmir, and the Roots, like they have always been really big in my heart. I was so honored to be a part of that little happy birthday video that you guys all put together. It was super, super sweet. But, you know, I also grew up with a lot of classical music and jazz music in the house. The now late Chick Corea was definitely somebody that I was inspired by. But yeah, many, many, many folks. Anytime I get that question, I'm always like, oh, this person, that person, so many. I feel like it changes every day. Melanie Charles is a wonderful vocalist in New York who I'm a huge fan of. She recently put out a NPR Tiny Desk. Yeah, you know, many folks. It's eclectic.
Of course. I mean, I love also just how everything like comes together too. I'm a little bit curious about your process. Like, are you hearing music first? Is it a feeling? Is it based on something that happens in your life, and then you start with the lyrics? Like, how do you put stuff together?
It's usually music first, music feeling first for sure. My usual writing process is the music, the melody, and then the lyrics. The lyrics come last, just because when I write a melody, especially that's one of the places that I really try and challenge myself and push myself to like do something that is both challenging and interesting for me to sing. And oftentimes when I create the melody, like vowel sounds or certain words kind of like fit into the sounds that I'm making, and then I kind of craft from that way. But I still try and be incredibly intentional with my songwriting, because I think that it's really important as a songwriter to continue to really bring a lot of integrity to songwriting. And I still like the idea of storytelling through art. And so all 3 points, like music, melody, lyrics, they all get a lot of intention. But I would say that it's usually music first, because I want to be able to like vibe first and foremost. And if I know personally, like I hear lyrics last when I'm listening to music. So as long as people think the music is dope, and then if they get to the lyrics and they're like, oh, the lyrics are dope too, that's kind of like the journey that I want people to go down. But then if they hear the lyric first, they can also be like, that's dope as well. So, options.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of lyrics, we hear that your latest single, Hindsight, was based on a love letter to Bernie Sanders. Is Bernie still your Valentine?
He is. He is still my Valentine. I do have a live-in Valentine, so I don't know if he wants Bernie to also be our Valentine, but maybe we could get like a throuple situation happening. If that's what it takes to get universal health care, then maybe we just got to take one for the team. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very important to be in polyamory. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep it going on, all right? You be my Valentine, you won't. It's fine. It's fine.
Universal mandate takes on a whole nother meaning now.
Yeah.
Madison, what can your fans look forward to hearing in 2021 as we go through this new extension of 2020?
Well, one of the things that a silver lining of all of this COVID craziness was the fact that I was able to start working on my own production, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but frankly had not had the time because I'd been on the road. I spent the majority of 2019 not in my own apartment and traveling from city to city. And, last January and February were like the first months that I had to like relax. And then March was like, we're going to get back on the road. And then that did not happen. But I finally had an opportunity to really sit down and hone a skill that I'd been wanting to hone, but had been a little too intimidated to really get into. And, without COVID, Hindsight would not have been the song that it was. I mean, it wouldn't have been the song because I wrote it in COVID wanting to have a different candidate and all this stuff. But it's also the first song that I've ever released that features my own production. I'm playing everything on that track except for the drums, which Louis Cato did an amazing job with. And so you can look forward to hearing more of my production. I'm working on a debut album, and whereas had you asked me like a year ago what that would sound like, me being at the forefront of the production probably wouldn't have been the case. I know that I have a lot of really strong ideas and would have been able to direct other people to do certain things, but now I can actually sit down and be like, no, I'm going to do the majority, if not all of this. And like when I think that there are places where, similar to Hindsight, it was like, I can't play the drums as well as Louis can. So like, why don't I tap into my network and make this other thing that I'm hearing that I physically cannot do in this moment in time. Like, why don't I ask my community to help me out with it? So I'm really excited for that next chapter because I, am finally feeling like all of the different sounds that I hear in my head, I can actually put them into something and not just the vocals. Whereas, I did fully produce my a cappella stuff as well, but that's me singing and layering and just doing that. But being able to really tap into this other side has opened up a whole new world of creativity for me. So I'm really excited about that.
We're really excited too. And we're really excited to get to watch you perform. Thank you so much for being on the show this evening.
Thank you so much. And again, if you like I guess I won't be performing Hindsight on my live stream. It's going to be an all a cappella set in honor of my sophomore EP, Finding Foundations Volume 2. But it's going to be a really fun night, and I'm going to be able to feature artists that helped me out in that process. So I hope you guys can all join me in that virtual realm, just like we are in this virtual realm together. We are separated, but we are together. So, I'm grateful for that. So thank you so much for having me.
For sure. Thank you.
Indeed.
Here to perform a piece from her latest work, Finding Foundations, Volume 2, Madison McFerrin.
Coulda said we went. So T, y'all. In last episode, it seemed like the devil done took the will from God, or at least distracted him with his mouth. Our favorite lonely girls were hit with the COVID and the 3 Ks, Karens, Kevins, and Killer Cops. Let's see how they coping.
Okay, BlackStar team. See you all next week. Same time, same Zoom. Hey, Edie. I missed you too. Been waiting to see you all day. So what do you want to watch? Lovecraft Country or a classic like Love Jones? It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. Do you think I'll ever find anyone as luscious as Lorenz Tate? Well, that was mean. You're right. I should focus on my one-woman show of Grey Gardens I've been trying to do my whole life. Right now? I am not lazy. I get it. Fine.
Meanwhile, now, this is strange. It seems like Janice is expecting someone, but who could it be? She ain't no friends, hence the name Lonely Girls. Child, hope she remembers to stay back 6 feet.
Thank you. I just happened to be near my door. Thank you for my package.
Hey, Janice, right? You know, I know it's not any of my business, but you know you can make multiple orders at one time. You do know that, right? It just cuts down extra packaging, it's greener.
Yes, of course, I know that. I just have my elders sending all their stuff to my place because I'm the most secure house in the pod.
Oh, my bad. I have elders in my family, so I get it. I was just wondering, since I drop something off to you every single day. But I ain't trying to be in your business.
I wish you would get in my business.
What you say, girl?
So do you live with your elders?
Nah, it's just me, myself, and I.
Oh. Okay. Well, you take care of yourself now, you hear?
Yeah.
I listened to you. I played hard to get. Yes, I'm a little moist.
Now this is getting good. Tune in next week to see if Kaori's friendship with Edie blossoms and if Janice's thirst gets quenched by this masked stallion. Hopefully Janice doesn't forget about 6 feet while she's thinking about 6 inches.
Our last guest of the night is Adeyemi Michael, director of the short film entitled Adeyemi reimagines the idea of leaving your country of origin in this short film. Let's take a look.
The name
that I was given when I was born is Abosede Afolashade. That's, my origin. That's where I've come from. So one can never forget one's roots. It's like a tree, isn't it? Because if the tree doesn't have a root, it will fall down. It won't survive. Omosi Abini Ojo Isemi, Abosede Afolashade means my wealth is my crown. Pé ní apá kan Nàìjíríà ni mí, lápá kejì British. It's weird. I don't know how I can explain it. Having two places. So, in a way, I feel happy. I mean, even living here, we still do things that we do in Nigeria, i.e., when people our children are getting married or having a celebration. And it's the people that make the country, not just the country makes itself. Ká má ṣe gbàgbé ọmọ ẹni tí àwa ń ṣe.
Welcome, Adeyemi, to BlackStar Live. We are so excited to have you here tonight. Could you tell us a little bit about how your Black History Month is going, if that's something you all celebrate in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, we had our Black History Month in October. I guess it's good to be here. I'm actually currently in DC, so I'm here. It happens at different times and whatnot. So yeah, it's interesting to sort of be on this. The Did you get that?
We got a little bit of it. I know that you're in Chocolate City celebrating Black History Month. That's what I heard.
Yeah. And I heard y'all have a full month for Black History Month.
Exactly.
In the UK?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. We have that's sort of when ours is. During that time, yes, into Black history. It's really a time where, similarly to sort of here, Black stories, the Black experience in the UK, and sort of celebratory about our existence and whatnot, and some of the ways that it was marked was sort of through that they did for Netflix. Yeah, it's pretty good usually.
Next question.
Yeah.
You guys getting that?
We're getting like every other word, but Mercury's and Gatorade, so
Indeed.
we're doing our best.
You can give us one moment. We're going to try to fix some technical difficulties.
Thank you. And your girl Mercury be acting up.
Yo, Mercury be wildin'. She over here in Power Egg and her micro braids done. Let's try this. Adeyemi, can you hear us?
How about now?
Great.
How's that going?
That's
perfect.
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, and you sound a lot better as well. So, and thanks to y'all at home for being patient with us. In your film Untitled that we just watched, there's such beautiful images that you've constructed, including the striking images of Abosede on horseback. I'm curious to what your inspiration was for the look of the film.
A large part of my mum's experience having sort of lived and worked in the UK. I guess, she had a sort of shoe collection that used to actually irritate me. Something that essentially looked at her to the UK, essentially started, but then it grew into this sort of exploration into like the colonizing Nigeria, and so that sort of led me to sort of images of conquerors, sort of a white man on a horse going to another land and being seen as that image and that narrative of what it means to be an immigrant in a another specifically Nigerians. My mum had gone through a specific experience at the time with where she'd redundant, and that really made me feel like I needed to put her back in a position that he spoke to the person. I guess in some ways it was inspired from that. There were sort of filmmakers that I was looking at.
We're gonna.
Can you hear me?
It's still cutting up, Adeyemi. So I'm sorry. I think we're going to cut this here, but we really, really appreciate you joining us this evening. And we're going to post on social where people can find you. The film is so, so beautiful. And we really, really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you. We have to submit to Mother Mercury.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh. And that brings us, with that technical difficulty and with Adeyemi's wonderful time and wonderful film, that brings us to the end of this episode of BlackStar Live. We'd like to thank Questlove, Madison McFerrin, Adeyemi Michael for kicking it with us tonight. And if your check doesn't clear, don't call us, call Open Society Foundations. Again, I'm your host, Maori Carmel Holmes.
And I'm Rashid Anwar Zakat.
And I'm Luke Carlos O'Reilly.
I'm pretty sure you gotta have like 3 names to be on the show.
I think I said that last week.
Indeed. I like to repeat things you say, Maori.
Mansplaining. Join us next week, this same time and every Friday in February. Our guests will mostly have 2 names. Next week we have Mahogany Brown, Ivy Soul, and Rakee Wright.
Don't forget to follow us on all social media accounts at BlackStar Fest, at scene_journal and at Many Lumens, and buy a print to support BlackStar's 10th anniversary campaign. Tag your favorite moments using hashtag BlackStarLive. Good night.
Good night.